music made you feel and think to yourself, I want to perform like that one day. Well, that's exactly what happened for Grammy Award-winning musician Annie Aaron Clark, otherwise known by her stage name of Saint Vincent. Annie was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma on September 28, 1982. She lived with her parents and two older sisters there until she was about 3 when her parents divorced. After the divorce, she moved with her mother and her sisters to Dallas, Texas. In Dallas, her family attended the First Unitarian Church of Dallas. Annie loved music. She was always singing and playing the guitar. At the age of 12, she began to spend some of her time as a roadie, or a person who helps set up a band to perform for her aunt and uncle's musical group, Tuck and Patty. After graduating high school in 2001, Annie attended the Berklee College of Music in Boston, Massachusetts. She spent 3 years there studying, but decided to leave before graduation. In an interview, she said, quote, I think that with music school and art school, or school in any form, there has to be some sort of system of grading and measurement. While all of that is good and has its place, at some point you have to learn all that you can and then forget everything that you learned in order to actually start making music. After leaving the Berklee School of Music, Annie began her professional musical career. She spent about 3 years playing backup for different bands, including the Polyphonic Spree and folk musician Sufjan Stevens. In 2006, she began recording her first studio album under the name of Saint Vincent. The name comes from a line from a Nick Cave song that inspired her and also her great-grandmother, whose middle name was Saint Vincent. The album, entitled Marry Me, came out in 2007. The album was loved by critics and won several awards, including the Plug Female Artist of the Year Award for 2008. Her second album, Actor, came out the following year in 2009, and several songs were featured in TV and movies, such as Arrested Development, Portlandia, and the Twilight movies. Fame seemed to follow her. From here, the albums and accolades continued. In 2013, Annie received the Smithsonian American Ingenuity Award for Performing Arts and her first Grammy, followed for her Best Alternative Music Album. Even with her fame, Annie continues to stay tied to her home congregation of the First Unitarian Church of Dallas. Her mother is still an active member, and Annie has come back to the church to perform for different fundraising events. In a question and answer after a concert, she said, quote, she was lucky as a teen to have found a church that encourages youth to consider big questions while providing shelter when they find themselves out of step with the world around them, end quote. Annie keeps her personal life very private. In her interview in 2014, she was asked how she identified her sexuality. She said, quote, I don't think about those words. I believe in gender fluidity and sexual fluidity. I don't really identify as anything. I think you can fall in love with anybody. I don't have anything to hide, but I'd rather keep the emphasis on my music. Annie continues to release new music and performs around the world. To date, she has made 6 albums and received 20 major awards and over 40 different nominations. She is an example of how modern Unitarian Universalists continue to share their art with the world.